These fighters are saying Floyd hating, Floyd hating, Floyd hating. Last time I checked, hating on what? On what?
Meaning he is greater at his skill of boxing than Stephen Hawking was at science.
Okay. I can live with that, but I don't know if I would call him the greatest fighter of all time. First of all, Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion.
Floyd Mayweather responded strongly after hearing Stephen A. Smith suggest that Terence Crawford ranks above him as a fighter. However, Smith also made sure to highlight how extraordinary Mayweather's career really was. He pointed out that Floyd fought through serious hand issues for much of his time in the ring, which reduced his natural power and led to fewer knockouts in the later stages of his career. Even with that limitation, Floyd stayed undefeated, showing his ability to outthink and outclass his opponent. Smith explained that this proves Mayweather's greatness because without depending on power, he still managed to control and overcome every opponent he faced.
Weather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
In addition to praising Mayweather, Smith also shared his view on a possible dream fight between Floyd and Terence Crawford. He made it clear without any hesitation that he would pick Crawford and said he would not question that decision. Smith showed complete confidence that if the matchup ever took place, Crawford would come out on top, leaving no uncertainty about who he supports in that situation.
Been avoiding everybody calling it a pick'em fight.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Crawford.
Smith also added that even though Floyd Mayweather is widely seen as one of the greatest fighters in boxing history, with elite defense, incredible speed, and outstanding ring intelligence, he still would not rank him as the #1 of all time. He explained that the debate about the greatest ever goes beyond a single name, pointing out that fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Aaron Pryor, Alexis Arguello, and Salvador Sanchez all deserve to be part of that conversation. According to Smith, Mayweather has earned great respect, but he is not the only fighter who belongs among the very best.
He is greater at his skill of boxing than Stephen Hawking was at science.
Okay. I can live with that, but I don't know if I would call him the greatest fighter of all time. First of all, Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy, he's just a savant. But I got to look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world. I watch Sugar Ray. I watch Pepino Cuevas. I watch Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Hagler, Mugabe, all of these cats. Aaron Pryor, Alexis Arguello, Salvador Sanchez before he died. But I come up with that era.
Smith also made it clear that Terence Crawford represents the sport today, calling him the fighter who defines the current era. He described Crawford as the top active boxer and the clear pound-for-pound #1 of position he believes no one else holds. Smith explained that Crawford becoming an undisputed champion in the 4-belt era was a historic achievement that separates him from others and confirms his place at the top of the boxing world.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champ.
Bozy Ennis agreed with this view, saying that Crawford should be mentioned alongside legends like Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard. Ennis explained that Crawford's greatness comes from never shying away from tough opponents. He faced every top contender in his divisions and defeated them convincingly. For Ennis, that consistent record of taking on and beating every major challenge shows why Crawford is already considered among boxing's all-time greats.
Did that put him up there with the Floyds, the Ray Leonards?
Right there with them all. You know what I mean? They come here and fight everybody. Nobody. You know, whoever was in front of him, who was in that weight at that time, and he beat everybody. He's great. Simple as
Tim Bradley fully agreed with that opinion, stating openly that Crawford would have beaten Mayweather if they had faced each other at their peaks. Bradley explained his reasoning, highlighting Crawford's diverse skill set, his ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw, and his precise punching. He noted that Mayweather has historically struggled against sharp counterpunchers, pointing to fights where Floyd had to adapt to southpaws or fast opponents. Bradley said that Crawford not only has the counterpunching talent, but also the flexibility to keep Mayweather guessing throughout the fight. He added that Crawford's size, stance changes, and aggressive style would likely overpower even a prime Mayweather.
yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand, the way he reaches with...
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's trainer, supported that view, reminding fans that when the greatest fighters in history are discussed, names like Ray Robinson and Jack Dempsey always come up. He insisted that Terence Crawford deserves to be mentioned in the same conversation. McIntyre stated firmly that Crawford's achievements in his career have secured his spot among boxing's all-time greats, not only as a current champion, but as a lasting figure in the sport's history.
Rank them. Should we rank them like that? Is it difficult because, eras?
No, I'll say when you say all the best, name the best fighters ever in the history of boxing, you're going to have to say Ray Robinson. You're going to have to say Jack Dempsey. Then you got to say Terence Crawford. He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Polly Malignaggi was blunt in comparing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He pointed out that Mayweather spent his prime facing top-level champions and tough opponents, citing Miguel Cotto and a young Canelo Alvarez as examples. He argued that Crawford has not yet fought opponents of that same level, which makes a direct comparison of their records unfair. Nevertheless, Malignaggi admitted that if both had met at their very best, a prime Mayweather against Crawford would have been one of the greatest fights ever, a matchup on par with the legendary battles of Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson in boxing history.
Mayweather, I thought, took on some pretty tough 154-pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. Remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. People talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54. So, I don't know, man. The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been. It's never gonna...
Zab Judah shared his view on the discussion, saying that when Canelo Alvarez called Crawford better than Mayweather, it was not an overstatement. Judah noted that Canelo's opinion matters because he is one of the few fighters to have faced both men, having competed against Mayweather earlier in his career and later against Crawford. Canelo has firsthand experience of their skills and challenges. According to Judah, his comparison should be taken seriously since he truly understands what both fighters bring to the ring.
Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know?
Yeah.
If anybody would know, Canelo would.
Ryan Clark spoke highly of Floyd Mayweather, describing him as the standout fighter of his generation. He explained that Floyd didn't simply win fights, but outclassed opponents with perfect technique, quick reflexes, and exceptional mental toughness. For Clark, Mayweather represented the pinnacle of dominance, in the 2000s serving as a symbol of skill and control during a period full of top champions.
Say that Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring.
He then turned to Terence Crawford, noting that Crawford has established his own position among boxing's greats by defeating fighters like Errol Spence, and Canelo decisively. Crawford has shown both courage and top-level skill. Clark highlighted that these wins demonstrate Crawford is not only highly talented, but also willing to challenge himself against the very best, leaving a lasting mark on the sport's history.
And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and trainer, offered a more measured perspective, recalling Floyd's famous bout against a young Canelo Alvarez. He noted that although Floyd won clearly on the scorecards, the fight also showcased Canelo's early promise rather than complete dominance. Jeff explained that Canelo was still young and developing as a fighter, while Floyd was at the peak of his experience and ring control. To Jeff, the match demonstrated Floyd's skill, but also showed how timing matters in boxing, since he faced Canelo before the younger fighter had fully matured.
Well, also, if we remember, Canelo, that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 21? 23? 25?
Yeah, very, very young.
Errol Spence Jr. shared his analysis of why Mayweather stands out in boxing history. He highlighted Floyd's exceptional ring intelligence and skill set, saying these traits put him far above nearly every other fighter in the sport. According to Spence, Floyd had the ability to control both the mental and physical aspects of a fight, which secured his status among the all-time greats. He added that while fans can only speculate about a fight between Mayweather and Crawford, Floyd's mental sharpness and psychological advantage would likely have been the deciding factor.
The difference, because Floyd is different. I feel like he's the best fighter. I don't know about all time. He might be the best fighter all time. If not, he's close 2-3, and not by far. So it's just it's a little bit different things that Floyd does. And Floyd was a lot older when I sparred him, and it's just certain things that he does that that's really tricky. Like the guy we get in the clinch, he was like squeezing my nose, and I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So it's just certain things that he do in there. It's just veteran stuff, just veteran all time type stuff he was doing.
Even like Floyd would beat Crawford, would you think? I know that's just a fantasy matchup.
Man, I don't know.
I'm reaching,
I don't get into all that.
Yeah.
I don't know who went out. Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd. I don't know, man.
But Floyd was the best work, just like mental games, everything.
Oh yeah, mentally, by far, I feel like he's the best. He's the best.